Good afternoon, welcome back to another video. How are we all doing? All good, I hope. Today's video we're going to talk about suspension, in particularly the Fast Ace 2.0. My bike is in dire need of some front forks, and especially doing upgrades like the bigger battery is definitely putting a lot more pressure on the front forks themselves. I'm running the stock KKEs that come with the Surron. They've never had a service. There's a horrendous amount of wobble on the stanchions themselves, and they don't really appear to be holding any air. In fact, they've got so bad recently that even coming down from a wheelie, front mudguard is actually touching the tyre. So, well overdue. We're in desperate need of a new set of forks. So like I mentioned, we've opted for the Fast Ace 2.0. So in this video, I'm going to go through a quick bit of installation and then we'll get out and test and review. Now, the difference being in this video compared to all the other Fast Ace videos you seem to see on YouTube is the fact that this video is not sponsored by Fast Ace. They did not send me any of their products free of charge. I've had to buy them with my own money. So it's going to be a completely honest review. If I think the forks are shit, then I'm going to tell you. So let's not mess around. Let's get the old forks off, take a look at the new forks, and then when installed onto the bike, then we'll go out and rip, see how they perform. Let's jump into it. So when I purchased the forks, I actually went for the gold option over the black. I thought they were going to be a little bit more bronze, but they are extremely gold. But I'm sure these are going to grow on me. I'm sure they're going to look great on the bike. So to start with, just going to remove the battery. Just makes it 10 times easier to work on the bike. And next we're just going to take off the front wheel. Next we're just going to undo all the necessary bolts and then pull the stanchions out one by one. First one came out easy enough. Second one, I'd actually managed to strip this bolt here. Also, I'd managed to strip one on the headset as well, so I had to resort to using a hacksaw to get both of those off. Eventually got the stanchions out. So now we're just going to remove all the old headset. This had all perished from the last set of bearings that I put on. Again, they'd never been changed. I had changed the bearings, as you can see there. But one tip, if you are going to change your front forks, make sure you get yourself a fresh set of bearings. There's nothing worse than trying to get these old bearings off the old suspension forks. It's a complete nightmare. Do yourself a favour, just buy a brand new set. So next I'm just going to grease up and pack the new bearings ready for installation. So this is a neat little trick that I learned. If you get yourself a piece of 32mm waste pipe, it actually fits right over the head tube of the forks, and then you can tap the bearing down nice and tight. Next, you're going to want to put in your new crown nut and grease up, ready for the new bearings to go in. Assemble it all, and then you can slide your forks back into the bike. Handlebars back on the bike, and we're just ready to put the front wheel back on. Job done.
Okay, so let's unpack the video so far. First of all, I'll talk about first impressions and how they look on the bike. So like I said, my first impressions when I very first opened that box was they are so gold. Like, I thought they were going to be slightly bronze. The word bling comes to mind. It wasn't really the look I was going for, but now they're on the bike, they're not looking too bad. One of my next upgrades is going to be the graphics kit, which I now think I'm going to have to change ever so slightly. I'm still going to go with the black and white theme, but I think I'm just going to add a little touch of gold just to blend in with the forks and just complement them a little bit. So yeah, looks definitely growing on me. Next was the installation. There was nothing too difficult. Like I said, if you are going to change fork or anything really to do with that front end, I'd massively recommend just getting yourself a new bearings kit. I've seen so many videos where people have struggled and tried to beat the shit out of their old bearings to put them onto the new fork. It's just not worth it. It's so quick and easy just to get new ones and just saves all that aggro in the long run. But everything else was exactly as you imagined. And this would then take us on to the performance of the new forks. Obviously, we're going to take them out for the first ride now, but what I'd say just from this position riding the bike, you can see the stanchions are so much thicker than the stock ones. Just that small field that I rode through then, there is a noticeable difference in the ride itself, but you do have to remember my old stock forks that I was running were coming to the end of their life or definitely needed a really good service. Naturally, it is going to be like night and day. At the moment, we're just road riding, but even the feel of the front end, maybe it's a placebo, it does feel a little bit more solid, I've got to say. I mean, the real test is going to be off-road when we get to a couple of the sort of more bumpy terrain. We'll see how they perform then, but so far definitely feels like a great improvement. Okay, so we've come off the road, joined a couple of fields into a couple of forests, and then up to the old racetrack that you've seen in probably quite a few of my videos. I would have loved to got out and got a couple of jumps in, but I'm going to save that for another video, because I have got another sort of big upgrade that will complement this one quite well, so stay tuned for that video. But yeah, so far off-road through here, it's literally like riding on a cloud compared to my last set of forks. Still taking everything, tree trunks, the lot. Yeah, no issues whatsoever, nice and solid and planted straight to the floor. Whoa, getting a bit snaky on the back there. Yeah, another nice thing is getting the front wheel up. Not too much difference in the weight side of things, but when I land the wheel, it's literally so much smoother than the last set. And like I said, there was a horrendous amount of wobble on the old stanchions that you could really feel when cornering, especially cornering on bumps or landing a wheelie. That's when it was really noticeable. But okay, hill climb. Ah, it's really overgrown. Yeah, no problem for the 72 volt, and the sun's made an appearance, even better. But yeah, this is the sort of terrain that I really got these for. I believe these are about £3 heavier than the standard KKE forks, and I'm sure maybe if you had a stock Surron you might notice the difference in the weight, but to be honest with you, with this battery and this controller, it would just lift the wheel up no matter what you've got on there. But yeah, feeling really nice, really smooth. We'll get a nice flat run, little jump. Yeah, just like I was saying, night and day. The next sort of point I wanted to move on to is kind of why I chose Fast Ace over all the other forks that are on the market. Two of the main reasons. One being the actual look of them. I really did like the look of these particular forks. Chat to a few of you on Instagram as well, and people that haven't had the luxury of being gifted a set for free and have actually had to pay for them, I've actually really rated them. You've got things like the Fox 40s. The reason I didn't go with the Fox 40s is one, they're quite common. Now, I'll probably say that is actually a bit of a contradiction. They're very common, but there's a good reason for that, because they are a great fork. Obviously ridden Surrons with the Fox 40s installed, and they do feel, again, like you're riding on a cloud. The only one kind of thing that put me off is the price. Obviously Fox, not a particularly cheap brand, but I think they've probably inflated their prices knowing that they fit quite nicely onto these bikes. I think for a set of Fox 40s you're probably looking the best part of 1,500 quid. You can obviously get them second hand, and I'm sure there's some really good deals out there, but where I've suffered with such poor suspension previously, I kind of wanted something new and fresh that was my own, and I knew the history of them. I knew they were going to be brand new out of the box. I knew I could then look after them and service them properly, as you should. The other one that was on my list was the Dorados. Again, really nice looking fork, but the price again did play a huge factor to it after spending out for the battery. A couple of other bits just to mention as well, the reason why I went for the Fast Ace. The 2.0s, the £60 spring was a massive selling point. I thought the gold was going to be a massive selling point until I opened the box. Other reasons being they fit directly onto these bikes, so there's no sort of cutting down that head tube at all. They just directly fit straight on. The other reasons, also, there's no extra brackets or plates needed for the brakes. You can put your stock brakes or your upgraded or your Hope and your Miguras, anything you've got, they'll fit directly onto the forks as well. So another huge selling point. I wanted them to be quick and easy, and yeah, that's exactly what we got. So where did I purchase the suspension from? I've been onto the Fast Ace website when I very first started looking into getting these forks about 6 to 8 months ago, and it said that they were out of stock. Then went on just over a month ago to make the purchase, and still showing out of stock. So I don't know whether they just don't update their website or they just generally are out of stock all the time. They seem to be quite prominent in the US, not so much in Europe or the UK. There are a few guys selling them on eBay, and there's a couple of other websites But there is really only one place that I buy my Surron parts from, and that is southcoastsurronparts.co.uk. Now, very similar name. It is nothing to do with me. I'm not affiliated in any way. But much like Electron Cycles, when you deal with a company and you get a great service and you get a great price, and they're actually a real pleasure to deal with, then I think credit where credit's due. You need to give these people as much exposure as possible. But yeah, South Coast Surron Parts, if you do want anything for your Surrons, your Light Bs, your Ultra Bs, your Talarias, they have literally got it all. Now I know a website's a website, but like I said, service is a huge thing to me, and I've always received nothing but great service from them. And the other thing we all like apart from great service is great prices as well. And I know this sounds like a massive sales pitch, it's really not. Like I said, just credit where credit's due. They're just a great company to deal with. Their prices are bang on. You're not overpaying for parts, and delivery, I'd challenge any other company to be as good as their delivery. From placing the order to actually receiving the forks, there's no more than 48 hours. And what's even better than that is if you are not mechanically minded, or if you're not confident installing the parts yourself, they also have a workshop as well. So you can purchase parts from them and have them fitted as well. I'll put their details up on the screen now. And I'll also put a link in the description to the website, but head over there if you're looking for any parts for your bike. Okay, so let's rock on then to the final part of the video. Overall thoughts on the Fast Ace 2.0. I'm going to say that so far they are literally, like I was saying earlier, night and day compared to my old KKE suspension. They are a tad heavier, but as long as you've got an upgraded battery or controller, I don't think you're going to really notice too much. They definitely feel more stable. They definitely look a lot more solid. The stanchions themselves are a lot thicker. Super easy to install, no modifications. You don't have to cut the head tube down, you don't have to put any adapters for your brake. And I know people call these the budget suspension, which I can't really disagree with. They are a lot cheaper than most other forks on the market. So far, great performance, handled absolutely everything I've thrown at it. Definitely feel a lot more solid. Great price point. So I think, yeah, if you are looking for an upgrade, these are definitely worth considering. I'm going to finish the video there. As always, thank you ever so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, and like I said, it is an honest review, but yeah, I do think they're a great set of forks, and I think for the money, I don't think you can complain. A little race going on. If there's anything else you want to see on these forks, or if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments, or hit me up on Instagram as well. But as always, thank you ever so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't done already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Yeah, cheers guys, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.